Welcome to Maker Conversations. I'm your host, Tiff Marchand from NIGHTCARVER Designs, and today on the show I have Melissa Garchie from Melissa Garchie DIY, and I was super excited to hang out with her. I got to meet her at Workbench Con in front of a candy store for about 15 minutes, and then we walked back together romantically on a nice warm day in Atlanta. Memories. Anyways, I was super excited to have her on, and because I was unable to meet David from DSL Woodworks, I wanted him to join us. He's also partners with Melissa on a venture, so I thought it'd be a good combo, and we had a lot of fun all just kind of catching up and getting to know Melissa a little bit. So come on and join us, and a huge thank you to Sabretooth for sponsoring the show and just supporting me in general. I really appreciate them, and I love that they trust me to manage their social media. And pretty soon, guys, I'll be making videos for their page. So I should be doing 4 videos each month and just talking about the different burrs and what they do and testing them on some different woods. If you're interested in trying out power carving, use NIGHTCARVER10 in all caps to save 10%. Okay, on with the show. Just another side note, these episodes were recorded about a month ago because I have backed up my episodes a bit. So just so a few things are a little old sounding, I wanted to call that out. I have been preparing to go to Haven, so I have stacked up episodes, but it's fresh enough, I hope. Alright, have a good one and enjoy the episode.
Get all excited when they're loading. Hello. Welcome to the show.
My goodness. Oh my gosh, Steven, I can't believe you kept this a secret.
I know.
For a while too.
Yeah.
What?
I know. It's so funny. You asked me so long ago and I was like, oh yeah, June, that's so far away. I'll totally be busy. And then you followed up with me the other day and I was like, oh my God, that's in like 2 days.
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I figured it's fun to have somebody who knows you really well to interview you too.
Yeah, now I'm scared. Well, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
It's been
oh my gosh.
It's been a lot of
Adam
fun.
literally asked me, he's like, who's the guest host? And I was like, I'm not aware that there is any.
I was like, oh, Melissa's so interesting. She probably doesn't need one anyways, you know?
Oh, geez. No, that's not the case.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Yeah.
My kids are out for the summer. So this is the first, non-school day. So it's been interesting.
Oh, it's the very, very first day?
Yes.
Got you. When you said they were out for the summer, I was like, did you send them somewhere? How do I do that? Where do you call? What's the number?
I know. Well, if you figure that out, you let me know. I'm going to need that.
So it's day one of what the rest of your summer is going to be like. And how was it? Was it manageable today?
Yeah. I mean, I gave them their list of their daily things that they need to get done before fun time can ensue. And you can imagine how well that went over. So
The first day, and here's all the chores that you guys got to do. Great.
It's totally easy. Empty the dishwasher, straighten your room, nothing too crazy.
No, it's stuff that they should know how to do. How old are
they? 13 and 10.
Yeah, they can handle a list,
Yes.
David. They're old enough.
I was gonna say, if I gave that to Connor, who's 4, he'd be like, he can barely pick up like a couple of cars here and there. So
Yeah.
No,
we're beyond that.
They're exhausted,
Can you blame them?
There's so much work. What are you making me do?
I'm just gonna take them out again anyways. What is the point of this?
That is a good question, though. What is the point?
You don't step on them.
Oh, that's true.
You
Yeah.
have a place to put things.
That's true. I get fine, whatever.
Coming from a parent that has a kid who takes every single toy out of his room every day, it's just like, really, it's just do it. Just get those toys away.
Although I feel like when you're a parent, you learn this innate sense of like where toys are on the ground, and you can just like magically
Navigate.
leave. Yeah. cars and Lego just constantly stepping around, not even an issue. For me, it's literally only when there's one underneath the carpet and you can't see it.
Oh, a hidden block.
Yeah, because my youngest does that. He'll like lift up the carpet and stuff things underneath, and then
What?
Yeah.
You can lift up the carpet, or is this a rug?
Oh, it's a rug.
Right.
Oh, okay.
See, David, I was with you. I was
Thank
thinking
you.
it was a rug.
It's an Eastern thing. That's why.
Melissa's so damn literal. She's like, what is this? Wait, what?
I don't lift up my carpet.
It's because you don't have boys.
There you
Just
go.
wait until they're cutting the carpet with scissors just so they can stuff things under there, you know?
I'm
I
glad
do
don't have
cut
a lot
my
of rugs.
carpet when I spill paint on it. I do a little fine trim.
Do you? I was interviewing Danny Kissel on Sabretooth's podcast. He's a pumpkin carver and stuff. And he was talking about how a rug got dirty one day. So he just decided to paint an image on it and just hide it and just like did like this whole like art piece in the middle of the rug just so he would hide the stain. He was like, and then once in a while I touch it up. And that was my solution.
That's amazing because I spilled so much paint on Cameron's carpet when I was doing her room that I mean, no amount of trimming is getting rid of everything I did. I also spilled epoxy too, which
People, these epoxy spills I'm hearing about lately.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Thelma. Yeah, Thelma from TK Woodworking. She has an epoxy spill in her garage right now.
yeah, it's a nightmare. And it wasn't even, I think, because I had the carpet pretty fully covered, but I think when I was spreading the epoxy and I lifted up, like some stuff splattered off of the spatula thing because there's like a couple of drips in these random areas. That's the only thing I can think of, but it's hard and it's not fun to step on. Poor kid.
Oh. What got you into doing DIY? Like, did you buy a house that needed a lot of work? Like, what was the driver factor?
I think, well, my parents are DIYers and have been my
Raised
entire
with it,
life.
yeah.
My dad's a woodworker. He never wants to hire people. He wants to do everything by hand. My mom sewed a lot growing up. So I just kind of come by it naturally. And for me, it's my creative outlet, which I need.
I get that.
So yeah, it's not even because it's needed. My house was brand new. This house that I'm living in, it was brand new. It was new construction. When I bought it, it's just, I don't know. I'm a weirdo and that's how I express myself creatively, I guess.
I don't know.
Weird
There's no better way to DIY than if you have a brand new house. And I mean, even you probably know better than most that even if you have a brand new house, they're not always square walls. But
no, it's terrible. It's terrible. Nothing is square in this house.
Still.
Do you guys follow Alex from Real Life DIY?
Yeah.
I was listening to his podcast earlier.
Real Life Renovation, right?
Yeah, Real Life Renovation.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I listened to his first episode of his podcast, and he was saying like that would be a dream to have like a new construction to do because you can count on it being semi even. You know, I know it won't be perfect, but
I
like,
don't
to have
know.
a blank slate instead of having to renovate an old house. Like,
yeah,
it's
I don't know. People say that, but then you see some of these, like, I mean, I know it's probably the same where you are, like all these new construction developments just going up in like, you know, a year. It's
ours was built in 9 months.
Wow.
And it was all done after the recession. So it was when things were just kind of starting to get better. So I think the builder just wanted to pump out the homes as fast as possible to kind of recoup their costs. Because this development started before the recession. There were like a couple tracks already built, and then it just got completely put on hold. So I think they were just, let me do what I can. There are a bunch of lawsuits against our builder. It's madness, but
it's very Californian to say.
Oh, the lawsuits?
No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like that's everywhere, and I know it's not like that in Canada. You guys
I was gonna say, yeah, we don't have that.
there.
Yeah. We don't even have, like, in Quebec, I was talking about this today. We have no fault insurance for cars, which, like, I don't even know 100%, but like if you crash into somebody, like it doesn't even matter. It's not necessarily your insurance that's going to pay for everything. There's just no fault insurance up here. Yeah, we're very You think that's why people are like, oh, California is so liberal. Oh, you don't even know.
No, I don't.
We always say we're gonna move to Canada, me and my husband. Like, it's just like, when are we going? When are we making that move?
I know. It's like the universal health care David was telling us about. They don't pay for anything. They paid, you didn't even pay for parking when your wife had your last kid, right?
Yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, when my youngest was born, yeah, he had to be rushed from our hospital to the children's hospital downtown by ambulance. He stayed in the NICU for a week, and we walked out with a $0 bill. I think we had to buy a sandwich a couple days, and that was the extent.
That was
of the
pay, yeah.
But there are some downfalls in Canada. I don't think it's all perfect and sunshine and rainbows.
I don't know about that.
We have snow, Melissa.
That's where I draw the line.
That's why their healthcare is so good, because they have so much snow all year. It's like,
Yeah.
here we go. We'll make up for that and stay here, and we'll take care of you medically wise.
Yeah.
There you go. I
It
don't
works.
think I could put up with the snow in exchange, though.
Snow's fine.
Is it? Is it?
I don't
I
know.
I mean,
think
I
it would-
like it.
Yeah. It's an Eastern thing.
I would freeze to death. I would.
Have you always been on the West Coast, Mel?
Yeah. I grew up in the desert
Oh,
too. So,
there we go.
and then now I'm in San Diego. I just can't, like, I have a 5-degree range of temperature that I'm comfortable in, and anything above, I'm burning
What's your
hot, and
range?
anything
Let's hear
below.
it.
Like, okay, 68 to, we'll say 74. 74
Oh my
is kinda
God, you and
getting
I
there, though.
share the same range. That's where I would
Yes.
love to be. I
Yeah.
never get that. I never get it, but that's my dream temperature range right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the magic. I can't
Mhm.
sleep if it's too hot.
Yeah.
I just like, even right now I'm a little hot. It's probably because I have a ring light in my face. I'm like, should I take off my sweater? I feel like I'm starting to sweat.
Take it off. It's fine.
It's probably 75 in here.
Dude, I'm the same way. That's so funny. But like, it gets hot in Massachusetts. It's awful. But let's stop talking about weather. Let's talk
Okay,
about
yeah.
you. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It started to depress me. Start talking about humidity and heat. It's just like, oh God.
Seriously, because that's what we're currently dealing with right now. But I started, like, as I do, I like to scroll down and see when people started. And you started
Oh,
like
boy.
right when COVID was hitting, like just before it shut
Just
down.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was when I think it was January 2020. I was like, I'm going to do this. All my friends kept telling me, you should put out your creative ideas on Instagram and Pinterest and
Mhm.
blah, blah, blah. And finally, I did a couple things really out of my comfort zone at the end of 2019. And I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go on Instagram. I'm going to put myself out there. And then COVID hit, and I became a homeschool teacher. My boss also, and where I work is just me and my boss. He was diagnosed with cancer right then too. So it was
geez.
just,
Your whole world
there was just all
changed.
this stuff hit at the same time. And then I pulled back and kind of stopped what I was doing on Instagram. And then everybody else decided to start doing Instagram in that time.
Yes, they did.
So I came back to a much more flooded market. But for me, it's not. I've gotten to a point where I love Instagram for the community that I've gained and the friends that I've made. I've met some friends that I know will be friends for life. But it's not about the numbers to me anymore. For a long time, I was caught in that like hamster wheel. Like, I gotta grow. Oh my gosh, my engagement is terrible. And it would affect me when my engagement would be bad. They don't like me, blah, blah. And now I just don't care.
Do you think that's because of your TikTok, or do you think
well, even TikTok, I posted a TikTok yesterday and it hasn't even cracked 1,000 views, which I think is insane for somebody with an account of my size. But
it's amazing how big accounts still get the same feelings that the smaller ones get when they don't hit. It's just like, they don't pop off.
And honestly, that would have gotten to me a while, like a couple months ago, I would have just been devastated and kind of been like, is this even worth it? But I don't care on either one. I'm putting out stuff that I enjoy and I like to do. And that's, if people like it, they like it. And at the end of the day, there's, people commenting that somebody just commented yesterday that they showed the video of my Harry Potter secret room to their contractor and paid their contractor to do it for them. And it was like such an inspiration. And that to me is just
awesome.
so cool.
That is so
cool. Yeah. It doesn't matter how many people.
It's the first of many.
Yeah. See, it's just, I don't know. That's the sort of stuff that's like, okay, this is awesome. Mm-hmm. Building a community, building friends. That's what it's about to me.
And then when you get those amazing followers that just become part of your life,
yeah,
like they may not be the same bond that we have with makers and stuff, but then you have those people who are actual real people who aren't making and doing this with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they're engaging and they're sharing with you those stories, that means so much. It does.
Yeah. No, it really does. I mean, I have some that are in my DMs every single time and just like rooting me on. And, I'm like, you need to show me your projects. Even if you don't post your stuff on Instagram, I want to see your stuff. That part is so cool. And then most recently, my youngest daughter is not gender conforming. She, like all of she dresses and the way she prefers her room and the toys she wants to play with are all stuff you kind of go to the boys section for. And that's who she is.
That way for the girl stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We're glitters and rainbows over here, baby. I totally understand.
My little pony is on repeat for Connor.
Yeah.
See, there is no gender anymore.
Yeah.
No, but it's so funny because that's kind of been really inspirational to me lately. I've had a lot of people reach out to me specifically on TikTok saying, thank you so much for allowing your daughter to be who she is. I was a kid like that and my parents didn't let me do that, that sort of thing. And then other parents saying that it's inspirational to see that. So I don't know if you can affect any sort of positive change, whether it's small or big. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
that's
it's great.
I care about.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just I'll get off my soapbox now.
No, it's funny though. Cause like, it's always surprising. And like when your kids do start like gravitating to the other gender, just, stereotypical toys and stuff like that. And, it's just so funny now. Cause my other son's like, I think I like pink now. I'm like, great. That's fine. If you like pink too, like, he's like, yeah, Chase, can I wear your rainbow shirt, please? Like, so my other son's like getting more adventurous with his fashion because of my son Chase, like it's interesting.
He's feeding off of kind of the bravery. I feel because I feel like kids like that do have to be brave.
They do. They have to be bold. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she deals with stuff at school. It has gotten a lot better over the last couple of years because I think she's been at the same school since she was in kindergarten. She just ended 4th grade. And I think kids are, they're used to it. As Cameron is Cameron. She's going to be playing sports with the boys during recess. But for when she was younger in like kindergarten and 1st grade, there was a lot of pushback from boys. Little boys can be mean sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
No, it can be. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
See, yeah, it is. It's nice. And when you don't care to, push your child to not do that stuff, it's very freeing. You be you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a whole new world now, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's reflecting in movies too, which is really cool. You're starting to see that happen in a lot more movies now. So
yeah,
that's neat.
I know. It's so important. I mean, it's kind of crazy that we've let society tell us that boys like blue and girls like pink, and it's like it's a color. You can really it's so silly. So silly. I tell you, I will not rest until McDonald's in the drive-thru stops asking you if you want a boy Happy Meal or a girl Happy Meal.
Ours don't ask.
They don't.
I was gonna say, do you guys?
Oh my god,
they don't ask.
Yeah, we don't have that up here either.
Yep, they stopped. That was they stopped that for a few years now, I think. Actually.
Yeah.
So they still ask that in my area.
Wow.
And I want to say that it has something because they're mostly all franchises, or maybe they all are all.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So maybe it's kind of a case by case basis, but it bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to wage a war against that practice, because how hard is it to be like, do you want Hot Wheels or My Little Pony?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, well,
which would you prefer?
Yeah.
That's
Why
so funny. Because I was gonna say up. I don't know how it is where you are, Tiff, but like up here, it's do you want a book or do you want a toy? That's the only two options they have.
We don't have books.
We don't read in America, David.
What's reading? Reading?
Sorry, of course.
That's like asking kids if they want apple slices or French fries.
Yeah.
Hey, you'd be surprised that you'd be surprised. Connor always goes for the book. It's always in French, but that's good because he's not getting French from us. So,
is he bilingual?
No, not yet. No.
He will be. It sounds like it if he's
Yeah.
enjoying reading French literature.
Yeah, we're not gonna have a choice. I mean, I don't know how much you guys know about Quebec, but like the whole language laws up here and everything, they're really pushing to conserve the French language. So yeah, we're making sure he's gonna be French because I'm not at all, and neither is my wife. So
yeah. I wish I was bilingual.
Never too late.
Skill you don't value as much when you're young, though. When you have the time to actually learn it.
Yeah.
You don't think about it like as an important tool. I'm definitely going to do that for my kids, is make sure I push them towards learning another language for sure.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Even when I go like because obviously here I'm like, people look at me like, oh my God, you're really English. But anywhere else I go, if I go to the States or anywhere else in Canada, I mean, nobody speaks French, right? So I could say the most common phrase and they're like, oh my God, bilingual. That's amazing.
My mom knows 5 languages.
Jeez.
And so I actually rebelled in high school. And I chose to learn sign language as my foreign language in high school.
Does it ever come in handy though? I'm curious.
So I'm way out of practice. I'm sure I could pick it back up pretty quickly, but I did actually use it a couple times when I was a dog trainer at PetSmart. We had quite a few deaf customers. And I used to help them find things.
That's so cool.
So what kind of jobs have you had? I love hearing people's like job history.
So I was a dog trainer. Well, I worked as a hostess in a restaurant as my first job. And then I was a cashier at Smart and Final.
Final.
Yeah, Smart and Final. And then I was a dog trainer at PetSmart because I had, a background. My neighbor growing up bred and showed whippets in dog shows, and also trained them. So I love animals. And so she just kind of took me under her wing and I learned a lot from her. And now she's actually, hi, Mary. If you ever hear this, she is a judge at these like national dog shows. It's really cool. But
that's awesome.
Anyway, after that, I got a job as an animal trainer and performer at SeaWorld.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. So, and I did that for a while.
What animals did you work with?
I'm very curious about that too.
Yeah. So this is crazy. I didn't work with any sea animals. We had this show called Pets Rule, and I trained dogs, cats, pigs, parrots, ducks.
So you were like the inside the aquarium type of show.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we trained them to do all sorts of tricks, and then we performed with them on stage. And that was a lot of fun. That was definitely a good time. But then I got a boring job at a law office where I met my husband. And then
still didn't make the job better though.
No. And then I started working at a nonprofit business accelerator. So we helped startups kind of refine their pitch and whatnot and get them in front of investors to try to get some financing. And then that's how I ultimately met my boss that I've been with for many, many years. He runs a venture firm and actually creates startups, and we kind of stay with them until they are acquired or fail, which starts, some startups just will inevitably fail. And it's sad, but it happens. Anyway, that's what I do.
That's interesting though. So you're used to like pouring your heart into stuff that you've seen not work out. So like you've kind of already dealt with that with your regular life when it comes to like doing a post and seeing it fail. It's kind of like, well, that's bound to happen.
Yeah, it stinks. We just had a company that I have been working on since I started working for my boss like 7 years ago. And so I've watched it grow from just this kind of idea to a startup that had, I think there were, gosh, I'm forgetting now. I think there were over 30 employees. And it was kind of like with startups, especially in the life sciences, pharmaceutical world, nothing's a sure bet, but this company was as close to a sure bet as you could get. And then they actually failed at their second set of clinical trials. So we had to shut the whole thing down. And it was just like, we're still in the process of shutting down because you can't just like a pharmaceutical company, you can't just
unplug and be done.
Yeah. But it's so sad. It's so sad. Luckily, most people have already found jobs but it stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Startup
sure
world is cutthroat. It is cutthroat. It is
No,
devastating. Sorry, I just got this super depressing. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's interesting though. Your life has gone from like these like jobs where you're out there performing to something that you're more behind a desk, behind the scenes, I assume. Good catch. Good catch.
Dropping my mic. Okay, I'm good.
Are you wanting to stay doing that kind of a business, or are you trying to make moves to do something else right now? Like you have M2 Labs going on. Like what's your dream and vision with that? What is that for those who don't know it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So M2 Labs, and David could speak on this too, because he's one of my business partners. But M2 Labs essentially started out as something we were just kind of doing within our Instagram community, where we would find somebody who's kind of an expert in something that the rest of us weren't. So, wood burning or deep pour epoxy. And then we would get a bunch of us on a Zoom to learn that new, deep pour epoxy, to learn the ins and outs of deep pour epoxy, to be able to kind of expand our skill set. And they were getting so popular. And Mike from Mike Built Something was having kind of a hard time managing it because they were growing so much. So I said, you know what? I'm good at managing and organizing stuff. I'll help you out.
Strong
so I kind of
there.
So I launched some web pages on my melissagarchiediy.com website with, I don't know, David, how many classes did we have to start off with? Like 10?
It was
not a lot.
Even. Yeah.
Or 12, because it was supposed to carry us all through.
Oh yeah, it's true.
January.
Those beginning ones. Yeah.
And within like a couple of days, or within the first day, I think we actually had like 156 registrations within releasing those, and they were all free. It was just at that point we realized we have something here that people are really enjoying. So in order to make it more professional, more fine-tuned, and to be able to get our maker friends paid for, the time that they're putting into the classes, we do need to start charging. So we launched M2 Labs, and we launched our kind of paid model, and all of our classes they're not expensive. Our average class is at $30. But we're trying to grow that. And then of course, going from a free to a paid model where, we
speed bumps hard.
But we'll get there. We're gaining some traction. We're learning what sort of marketing works and what doesn't. And my ultimate goal is I would love to have my own business. And I do hope that it is. Obviously I do have my own business with M2 Labs, but that the own business becomes what can, finance me, that I'm no longer working for somebody else. I'm working for myself. I think with M2 Labs, none of us are looking to become gazillionaires from M2 Labs. The goal is ultimately the same, but we,
it's like an extension of yourself though, too.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to pay all of your expenses, but it could be a part of what's helping you become free from your current job. You know what I mean?
And not that I don't. I love my job. I love my boss, but I've always, always, always known that I wanted to work for myself when I grow up. And here I am, 37. So haven't quite made it there, but we're going to get there.
37 is young.
I haven't grown. I'm
How old
not
are you,
fully
David?
grown up yet.
I'm 30. I'm 34 now. I just turned 34 last month. Yeah.
He's saying that because he's approaching it. He's like, don't worry. No.
He likes to tell me that I'm old all the time. So don't let this little attitude fool you.
Stay off camera. Stays off camera. But no, I mean, I was just gonna say too, those classes. I mean, that's how I met all of you guys, right? Because I mean, Tiff, it's funny how in Instagram everybody kind of has their little communities, and some of them intersect.
Yeah.
I remember everywhere. Yeah, I mean, it was so nice when I was working from home. I was on Clubhouse every day. Right now, it's a little bit harder being back in the office. It's kind of hard to just sit there in the office on Clubhouse, but it's so cool. And yeah, I remember I met all of you guys through the mallet challenge that Mike and Adam were running. Yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah.
I still remember your picture too.
Yeah.
He was
a
holding
lot of people
mallet
met
up
through
in
that
there.
challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like that. The pumpkin challenge that happened a little bit before I joined Instagram. But
yeah.
I did not
It's
compete
so
in
fun.
that challenge. I don't like to build things.
I was gonna say a pumpkin carving challenge. That would have been right up your alley.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, that was before my time too. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That was probably when I was still in my pandemic funk.
Your world is only as big as the people you follow in it. You know what I mean? So like, depending on the accounts that you follow, you may not know an entire group of people exists. So it could have been, I didn't know who those people who were doing that, at that time. It's very interesting. I think we all met through probably I would say Kevin, like Lefty, because he usually, that's how I get introduced to most people is through Kevin. He's like a radar for people. I don't know.
He's such a teacher, right? He just brings people in and he introduces and then steps back,
Yeah, he does. He does step back too. You will like
I
each other.
adore that man. He is he is gold. He is just, how some people are just good people through and through. He's just a good person through and through.
And we're talking about Lefty for you guys who don't know him.
Yeah. I'm so glad I got to meet him because I was at Workbench, but I barely got to meet anybody. Obviously, I was stuck in my hotel room, but I got Kevin came out and saw me with Melissa and Nathan and Mike and a bunch of other guys, and it was awesome.
It's so hard to see people even when you are there sometimes though, just to I got to see Melissa for 15 minutes.
I know.
A candy store.
Yeah. And then we walked back together.
Yeah, we walked back together. We had a nice romantic stroll back.
Yes. That was where I realized that you and your husband are relationship goals.
Oh yeah.
I came home to my husband. I was like, we need to be more like Tiff and her husband. And he's like, well, who's Tiff? And I'm like, oh, you don't remember?
This is what the issue is.
I think I do remember you saying something about that. You saw us when we had no kids. We actually are, a lovely couple when we don't have kids harassing us and talking. They're like nonstop.
Oh yeah. I never understood the term, I can't hear myself think.
Oh my God.
Until I had kids.
Yeah.
Then I was like, I get it now. I get it.
We literally will try to have a conversation with each other, and it's the worst in a car too, because they just want your attention every 3 seconds. But we end up fighting. We're in a great mood, but then now we're angry at each other because our kids won't stop talking so that we can actually have a thought in our head. So you get so flustered that you just start getting angry at the other person. That is what kids do to you.
and I adore them. I don't know what I would do without them, but I mean, man, sometimes
you'd have time to think.
Yeah, that's what when because my kids didn't go back to school, our school district didn't open up to in-person learning until this last school year. So it shut down March 2020. So for the rest of that school year, it was all virtual learning.
Ours too.
And then and then for the whole next school year, it was all virtual learning. And when my kids went back to school this school year, I felt like I was a brand new person. Like I'm the type of person that I love being around my family and I love being around my friends, but I need moments I need to be alone too. I need to have my alone time, and I got none of that. And I just, oh my gosh, yeah.
And now we're talking to her on the first day of summer.
Yeah, and now I'm like,
and she's surrounded by them. This is what we call parenting PTSD.
Yeah.
You're having flashbacks right now. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Breathe.
I'll probably ship them off to the grandparents a few times. Just
100%. They miss them. They need to see them.
Yes. It's very selfless of me.
Yes.
It's funny. I keep thinking that like, once the kids are old enough to do their own thing, because I mean, your kids are at that stage now, right? Like they can kind of do their own thing. Don't even need to worry about it. I can't wait for that. The age I'm most excited when they can wake up and just go and turn on the TV on the weekend on their own.
My kids can do that now. So six, you got 2 more years. 2 more years, David.
Yeah. And then by then he can Connor can bring Bennett out, and then, although by then we'll probably have another one anyway. So
yeah. No, don't be outnumbered.
Don't be outnumbered.
That's what everyone says, but I don't know why I've always wanted a girl. We might try one more just for the girl. We'll see.
I think because both my kids are heavy in sports, and my youngest is she's on a traveling club competitive soccer team. So it's pretty intense, and it's year round. I could not imagine if we had 3 kids with all the sports and everything splitting. You can't split yourself into 3 different places. There's only 2 of you. So what would you do?
That middle kid just gets nothing.
Yeah. That's why there's that's why there's middle child syndrome.
I'm the middle child.
That's so
they will suffer in silence.
Oh.
And they will start drawing to entertain themselves.
Well, there you go.
Look at where it brought you.
Exactly. Didn't turn out so bad.
My mommy just said, draw over there in the corner, and look where I am now.
Oh no.
That's a lie. I have an overbearing Italian mother. She never left me alone. Let's be real here.
Oh, Melissa. You're Italian.
Oh, yes. I'm half Italian, half French.
I was going to say, the last name, last name is definitely,
yes, I am French Canadian, my friend. I have visited your cities, your towns, your provinces.
Well, are you related to Brad or?
No, everyone asks that because of the Marchand.
It's a hockey player, Melissa.
He's a hockey player. He's a
game played on ice. I don't know if you know what that is. It's hockey.
That's my married last name. My maiden name it's still French, so it's Buta or Buto. Yeah.
Wow.
Fancy.
See, I'm not that cool. And my kids remind me of that because my husband is Spanish and Filipino. So they remind me of just how white I am all the time. I got this new mineral sunscreen, and they put it on themselves, and they're cast in this white cast from the mineral sunscreen. And they said, "Look, Mom, we look like you." They're like, "What are you?" And I'm like, "I'm just a mix of things. I can't say I'm half this or half that." Yeah. So I'm jealous.
Don't worry. 23andMe has told me that I'm a liar and I'm not really fully half this, half that, but I'm choosing to ignore it.
Well, that's the interesting thing about genetics, because even my husband probably isn't what we think he is, because when you get your genes from your parents, you get more of some and the other, but I don't know, are you supposed to start describing yourself I am 22.5%?
I am 49.9% Italian. I am that.
Oh, there we go. There's no denying it.
There's no denying it. My grandmother didn't lie. She did come from Italy.
There you go.
I mean, if she wasn't 100% Italian, it'd be a little weird. But I want to talk to you. What about like your favorite thing that you've done so far in your house? Like, I know you just finished this amazing like hidden bookcase bed thing. But is that your number one, or is there something else? Is it something simple like the pantry you started with? Like,
yeah,
what's meant the most?
I think what's meant the most was the pantry. Yeah, you did. And I think so. I've always used DIY as an outlet, but if it came to building things with wood and power tools, for the most part, like a bigger thing like that, I would have called my dad over and asked him to help me. And then when my dad comes over, it's my dad's show and I don't blame him. Like, it's just like easier to, yeah. And for that pantry, it was the first time I built that entire thing from scratch all by myself. He gave me his hand-me-down miter saw, with like the torn dust collection bag. Like,
you don't need that.
Yeah, no, I mean, clearly I don't. I use my floor. But I built that entire pantry from scratch. And I was terrified to do it for two reasons. Number one, it was my first time ever building anything like that. And then number two, what our pantry was before were these stock really deep cabinets that match the rest of the cabinets in our kitchen. And I had this crazy idea of pulling them out and then creating it's not a walk-in pantry. It's called a reach-in pantry. That's what it's called.
The way that you have the shelves narrowed down a little bit so they can actually get in there.
Yeah. And so I was terrified if I pull this out, I'm messing with the aesthetic of my kitchen. And then is this actually going to work? Is this going to be effective? Am I going to be able to store everything I want to store in there? And so I was terrified that I was just going to mess up. How has it been
going now 2 years later?
It's amazing.
Awesome.
It's like, I would encourage anybody to do it. Our cabinets were so deep. They were over 2 feet deep.
They're unusable.
You lose stuff. We would constantly, when I would go to, do a massive clean out of the pantry, I'd find like so many things we didn't even know were there because they were just stuffed back there. And it didn't matter what organizational systems I put into place, what kind of bins, labels, it didn't matter. You will lose stuff. And now we don't have that issue at all. So So that was probably my favorite.
I really liked it. It's the first thing that you posted. And I was just like, that makes sense. Like when I saw the photos, like now it's fresh in my mind, but I have seen people who have those big, first of all, I'm jealous of having any kind of nice spaces like that you can play with because I have nothing for space in my kitchen. My house is from the 50s and there's no pantry. There was barely cabinets, like
we don't have a pantry either, Tiff.
Yeah, no pantry over here. No. But like it makes a lot more sense to do the cut-ins on the side so that you can get your body in there and actually get to everything. No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then it feels like once you did that, like nothing else is intimidating, is it?
It's intimidating, but I know that I can do it. But it is intimidating. Like I had somebody leave a comment on my TikTok a few weeks ago that was like, I don't understand how you like have the courage to do all of these things. Like, I'm always afraid to try new things. And I responded back. I was like, I'm always afraid. I am always afraid. I am always nervous. And it always leads to me procrastinating, whether I procrastinate for like a few hours or a few days or a few weeks or a few months. I'm always nervous to try something new.
Yeah.
Always.
So what's your biggest resource when it comes to like learning new things? Are you like one of the people that are watching YouTube videos all the time? Are you going to other people through Instagram? Are you going to your dad? Or are you just, I'm going to try it and see what happens?
That's kind of like, I feel like that's a really bad quality of mine. I do not watch YouTube. I do not do any of that. I will, like, if something is really intense, I'll Google it a bit and I'll read a few things. I have this weird trait about me where I feel like if I overly immerse myself in information and videos about something, it'll stop me from thinking of my own creative, unique ways of doing something, which sometimes works to my favor, and sometimes it's detrimental because things don't work out because I didn't
take the time to learn about it
yeah.
a little.
Yeah. I mean, the barbecue cabinets I built for my husband, I look back and I'm like, what was I doing? What? I can't even believe they're still standing, honestly. It's just because I didn't do any research on how to build cabinets or anything like that. I just was like, I built patio furniture. I know how to do this. They're going to have to be rebuilt in a year. They are.
How long ago did you make them?
I made them for Christmas in 2020.
Okay. 2 years is not bad for an early build when you're just learning and did absolutely no research.
Did no research. Like, I remember Mike and I had just become friends, and he messaged me after they were done. He was like, I'm not going to lie to you. I really had some doubts that these were even going to come together. So great job.
Brutal honesty.
And they are still standing. They're lasting. But I mean, I just know how I built them, and I know that they're not going to last for much longer. There's no wood glue involved.
Wood glue.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think that's what takes a lot of like first time DIYers into like, oh, I know what I'm doing. It's like the first time you buy glue and you're like, oh wait, I should glue these pieces of wood together, not just, use nails.
Yeah. I did use pocket holes and screws, but I that's how I would make my next one. I would just make it properly. Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to go through those stages of your stubbornness if that's how you learn. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like to overanalyze things before I do things. You're fine.
Yeah, that's like me too, Tiff. I'll watch. Oh yeah, I'll watch my issue is kind of the opposite. I'll watch so many YouTube videos that I almost psych myself out because I'll see like 8 different ways of doing it, and I'm like, I don't know the best way to tackle this. And then that's usually when I go to, somebody on Instagram and be like, hey, how did you do this? Can I just copy exactly what you did and I'll give you credit? Thanks.
I totally will ask like 10 people's opinions on something too before I do something. Like if it's major, like buying the laser, I must have harassed everyone I know. So
I don't blame you. I would have done for like big purchases like that, I research the crap out of things. I just don't do the same when I'm building stuff.
Well, that's the funny part is I researched the lasers, the speeds, like how many, watts I should get. I didn't research how to use the thing. So I got here and I'm like, I'll figure it out, whatever. My husband's like, you didn't watch any videos of how to use it? I'm like, no, I don't have time to learn it right now. So I'm just putting that in another box for later to learn how to. He's like, it's like, so we bought a paperweight. I'm like, yeah, it's there.
It looks amazing.
It does.
It does look good, right? She's sexy.
Yeah.
I almost didn't get it because of the red, Listen, I feel like it's a good red.
That's what mine is.
Wait.
Red.
What about what? I feel like I'm lost here. What about red?
I just don't like the color red.
Oh, okay. I'm not a big red fan either.
Yeah, no.
But my car is red. That's stupid. But but I really like my car is literally the only thing in my entire life I've ever wanted red.
Really?
Yeah. And my birthstone is garnet, and
I too. Oh,
yeah.
January, baby.
Oh, what's your day?
The 28th.
28th. Okay, I'm the 17th.
Hey, it's the same birthday as Wayne Gretzky.
January 28th.
Know that.
Elijah Wood too.
There you go.
Yeah. He's a year older. I always like that. I share the same day as Elijah Wood. How cheesy is that? I'm totally like a movie nerd though.
I love
that.
I share a birthday with Betty White, and I think that's amazing.
See,
And Michelle Obama.
Hey, that's very cool.
Yeah, magical people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
I got no, but I think I have Emilio Estevez. That's it.
Oh, that's cool.
Come on, the Mighty Duck man himself.
There you
That's
go.
Great. There you
Exactly.
go. Wow.
Emilio.
Oh man. I used to love his movies too. No?
So good.
Oh.
So good. My kids have watched that movie so many times recently.
Oh, they're
Just
getting
like,
into it now.
yeah.
Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. You don't like it?
No, it's irresponsible.
I'm gonna kick
It's
him
such
off this
a-
podcast now.
It's such a good movie. It's such like my daughter came home with her best friend who's on our soccer team, and they watched it between games at their tournament before they went into the final, and it was like so inspirational for them. Oh, David has such strong opinions about things, and
He's
it's
a
like there's
Canadian,
no.
and the hockey must not have been played well or something.
Yeah,
Oh, there was no hockey in it.
probably
There was no hockey. Oh yeah, and the powerhouse that's Iceland, of course.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
He-
he's giving
David-
that perspective. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I'm very literal when I watch movies. If there's like one little thing, it'll sour. No, that's not true. I can enjoy almost every movie. Name any like bad movie, and I can enjoy it. That doesn't
My
bother
husband
me.
loves the movie Miracle because he likes the hockey
Oh,
in the movie.
That's a great movie.
He's like,
Well,
"There's
yeah,
like
I've
good
seen that.
hockey in that.
they
movie."
used real hockey players
did,
for that.
yeah.
That's why.
Sorry, Melissa. I know he loves hockey so much, and I live with a hockey lover. So
That's what I thought. The red was tied to hockey.
Oh, no.
Is that no? Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. All right.
No.
Yeah.
it's aesthetics.
Yeah.
Just not what I like. If it was like a nice
Yeah.
dark gray, ooh, sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Black, even better.
Spray paint. Come on, Tiff,
I know,
get
but
it out.
it actually is a beautiful finish. That's why I wouldn't do it. Even though I don't love the color red, it's like a gorgeous finish. Like they do a
Yeah.
good job on their paint. I'm like, I don't touch it.
And it's not like the main
Just a
color.
little touch. It's just a
Little
touch.
touch.
Yeah.
Little touchy touch.
How did you pick the colors in your daughter's room, like with the Harry Potter stuff? Are those all Harry Potter colors? I can't like they're pretty vibrant.
Yeah. So her favorite colors are orange,
Okay.
neon yellow, and neon green.
I was gonna say they didn't scream Harry Potter to me, but they
Yeah.
are colors that are in Harry Potter.
Yeah. Yeah. So I knew I wanted to incorporate orange. And obviously it's really hard to incorporate like a neon yellow or neon green paint color. I mean, there's just, so I just picked the most vibrant yellow, and then I tied in blue because we need something to kind of tone it down a bit. But that's why, because I knew I was going to have those pops of color in the room. That's why the rest of the room is it's white, gray, and black.
Yeah.
So it's not so overwhelming, but you do have those pops of colors that she loves and will hopefully love for a long time, because I don't think I ever want to redo that room again.
Mom, I
gonna
want to paint my
say-
room black.
Well, you're doing it yourself.
Yeah,
next time,
exactly.
so
Yeah.
enjoy it, yeah.
Get to it.
Yep.
So how long did that room take in the end, Melissa?
I mean, David, seriously, you had to ask that question. It's
Oh, I
so
totally don't know the
embarrassing.
answer either. So this is
Listen, his basement's not done, so he's not trying
no.
to talk shit.
This is not the David podcast. We don't talk about the basement.
You
But
opened the door.
I'm just saying, he's not trying to talk shit. He knows he still has a project
Exactly.
going.
So I started it for the one room challenge in fall of 2021. Fall
Ooh,
of
I
2021.
did not know that was
Yeah.
when you started it. I thought it was just something you did more recent.
So it in total was like 7.5 months.
That's crazy. I think the most impressive part is that you were able to keep her. Not only were you able to keep her out, but she was willing to not.
Yeah.
Like how many
Yes.
kids out there? My kid
Not
would
be
have
in
looked
their
in the
room.
first 2 seconds.
Yeah. No, a lot of people on TikTok especially commented that I was lying, that there's no way that my daughter hadn't seen her room. And they claim that she was like a good actress. No, she is big into surprises. And she wanted to be surprised. So she was personally motivated to not look in there. Like I didn't
That's
even
impressive.
I know. And she was, the other thing is she was rooming with her sister and she loved it.
That's like the perfect age where you still just like don't mind having your space being taken up with somebody else.
Yeah.
Next
her
year,
sister
when it happens so much. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. Her sister was ready for her to leave because she's a teenager. So, but yeah, it was, she did not see it. She didn't peek in. She had no idea. And the other crazy thing is several of her soccer teammates are on TikTok, and they actually, when I had like 3 videos that were going viral in the like millions, they came across it on accident on their like For You page, started following me, and they all knew that it was a secret. So they didn't say one thing to Cameron. They would just say, I can't wait for you to see her. Like they deserve big kudos for that because that's huge. But it was so cute. I did a TikTok of like not all because there's too many, but like a handful of mean comments that I've gotten, funny comments that I've gotten. And so I was scrolling through that TikTok to find a couple of the mean ones I remembered. And I came across one of the girls on her soccer team commented, I'm in the photo on the soccer shelves, because she's like Cameron's team best friend. And so on the soccer shelves, there's a picture of the two of them. So cute. So cute.
That's really cute. They're excited.
Yeah.
I love that.
You have very different crowds of followers on Instagram via TikTok, huh?
Yeah.
I remember like it all kind of started when you just cut open a Harry Potter book just to put the hidden door.
Right? Yeah. It start like the first one that went viral was just me revealing that I turned the loft bed into like a secret bookcase thing. That started going crazy. And then the next couple of videos of that also went crazy because people just love secret rooms. So I already had like a ton of traffic coming to my page. So when I cut up the Harry Potter book,
done.
It hit the fan. It hit the fan. I was getting, I try not to delete mean comments because I just really don't care what you have to say. But I did delete. There are certain comments that I will delete, and I literally had death threats on that page. And so ridiculous. I would just, as soon as I saw them, even some of them, I wouldn't even read the whole thing. Like the second I saw anything threatening, I was just like, delete report. Like people are crazy.
Pain, though. Yeah. Well, I remember too, it's like it wasn't any special book. It was just one of the millions of copies that were made. So
yeah. I did a response to it because Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, I can't remember anymore, but I want to say it's like the 5th most published book in the world. There's like 77 million copies or something like that, and people are freaking out over me cutting up one. I mean,
in the movie they destroy a book anyways with the basilisk fang, so you're just staying true to the book. Come on, guys.
Right.
Coming out hard with the Harry Potter facts. Watch out.
I'm just saying.
So casually, he's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
It's just, there's something about TikTok that like invites toxic comments more than Instagram, I find.
I feel like it's less personal as a viewer.
Yeah, maybe. You know what's so weird is I kind of figured just like every account that gets to a certain size gets like a decent amount of troll comments. I just thought I wasn't alone in that. But then I was talking to my friend Jenna, who, how many followers does she have on TikTok, David?
Oh, like over 200,000.
Yeah, over 200,000. And she's like, I very, very rarely get troll comments. And I'm like, what? Do I just anger people? Why do I get so many troll comments? What? I don't understand.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have a lot. I have like 3,000 TikTok followers. As we were talking before we start recording, David and I have very similar techniques of just drop the video and ghost TikTok.
Yeah.
We don't actually engage on there ever or like spend any time on there. So I'm very disconnected from TikTok.
Yeah, well, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's probably for the best. If you get the commenters, no, and I will say, like, the troll commenters are, as far as like percentage versus like nice comments, it's small, but it's still, I mean, I get a very good amount of troll comments, and I just don't like, Jenna must be way more likable than I am. I don't know. I need to find out what her secret is.
Oh, it's from host to home.
Yes.
Jenna, yeah, she is very likable, so it's hard for me to disagree with you there.
Oh yeah, no, she is super. I wouldn't think of one mean thing to say to her, but then I also don't understand why any of these people have anything mean to say on my video.
Angers them, as you said.
Yes.
That was like the best quote ever, by the way. Do I just like aggravate people? I can't remember what you said exactly, but it was just too funny.
After she told me that, I was like, oh, I'm sure you understand the whole troll thing. And she's like, I really don't get troll commenters. And I'm like, what?
It's the Canadian in us. There's so many times where I'll see a mean comment and I'm just like, oh, thanks. Like, I'll try that next time, not realizing that the person's just being like an asshole.
It's ripping you. Yeah.
They're like, wow, you really should do this next time, you idiot. And I'm like, oh, that's a great tip. Thanks so much.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
All these lovely comments today.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to think it is to make myself feel better. Cause that really hurt my soul. Not that I want her to have troll comments, but just the fact that like
Melissa's creating burner accounts in the back, you know.
Melissa, before I let you go, what are you working on right now? Nothing. No, you don't have to be working on anything, you know.
So I can tell you what I'm going to be working on. I am currently not working on anything because honestly, I am so burnt out. Mm-hmm. But I started a moss art project before I started fall 1-room challenge that lasted until the end of spring 1-room challenge. And so I'm going to finish that and then the playhouse. So I don't know if you saw my video where I was demoing my kids' playhouse to make room for like a storage shed, and the playhouse roof fell on top of my foot and I got a soft tissue crush injury.
I do remember this now. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So, and I was on crutches for a long time. I was in a boot for like 6 weeks. It was gnarly. Anyway. So I'm going to go back and finish demoing that, get my storage shed out there, and then create a workshop in my garage.
I thought you were going to tell me you were building a playhouse, and I was like, but they're so old.
No. That's why I demoed that one, because they had,
let's go, guys. You're old enough.
Yeah. You will play in there and you will like it.
Yeah. Please duck your head.
You don't need anywhere a kid can escape when they're 13 to be with anybody else. Any other structures. That's a good call to knock that down.
Yeah. Well, we just need storage from our garage, so I have room to like build workbenches and stuff.
So you're looking to get an official shop at your house, and not kind of like your makeshift environment that you're currently.
Yeah, which is just a joke.
I've seen the videos.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's bad. It's really bad. I don't know. It's embarrassing, but
it's not.
It's just
it's
who
real
I am.
Life.
Exactly. Messy shops.
It's multiple priorities all at once, and you get what you need to get done. Honestly, to survive.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
That's what I was telling David. It's embarrassing if you want to consider it embarrassing. I haven't touched that yet. 3 months.
No.
3 months. It'll get touched when it's ready.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be in that mindset. Like,
you're a little busy, Tiff.
A little busy.
Yeah.
You're a little busy.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
You've got a lot going on. So I'm surprised that we're even talking right now with all the stuff we have going on.
All right, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I am going to do a little something different today. I'm going to put the Patreon special after this right here, just so you can get a glimpse of the little side conversations that I have with makers before or after we stop recording for the show. So if you want to see these more often and you want to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/makerconversations. Check them out. There's a really funny one on Thelma from TK Woodworking with Chrissy and from Oak Hill Millworks, where there is a loop swoop and, you know, you'll figure it out. Anyways, check it out and enjoy this little snippet of me and
What
David
up,
talking
D?
before we interviewed Melissa.
What's up?
I like how when you come in, I hear like birds chirping.
Yeah, well, I was gonna sit in front of my door, but then I realized it was just gonna be like one huge shadow.
Bright light, yeah.
Yeah. So I moved over slightly to my horrible.
Would Spider send you, or is that from the drill bits?
Yeah, they sent me. They told me like so long ago that they were gonna send me it, and then I saw everyone else get theirs, and I was like, okay, like maybe.
Where's mine?
I'm like, maybe because I'm in Canada, it's gonna take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And then like I saw some Canadians get theirs, and I'm like, okay. So I waited a bit longer. And finally I was like, hey, just FYI, I didn't forget about you guys. I just never received anything. And she was like, oh, that's weird. I'll resend it.
Oh, geez. It could have gotten lots in the mail. You never freaking know,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
They're nice bits though. I got them too. I was stoked to get them. I'm like, give me all the free stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like everyone's like, oh, don't take anything unless they're
Yeah.
paying you. But I'm like, oh, man, I don't care about that.
Dude, it's a hard thing. Like it depends. Like if I want to have a relationship where I have to owe them something every month, like then yeah, I guess you should probably pay me unless you're giving me something really big. But if you just say, if you want to post about it in a story or something, I appreciate it, and just send me stuff, then I'll give me all the freebies in the world.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to have to be obliged to like, that's why I went with the Boss Laser too over like Omtech, because I didn't want to have to owe them anything. I'm like,
oh man.
I owe, you know, like Onefinity, I try to give them a lot because they gave me my CNC for free.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, I don't want to have that feeling of owing somebody something. I knew I didn't have time to like, when I came in, I didn't have time to use it right away. Like I still haven't used it. It's been 3 months almost now. But
oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because I was listening to I listened to the podcast the other week with Jeff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
he literally just texted me, which is so funny.
In that one, you're like, oh yeah, I have it, but I'm waiting for a piece. I haven't opened it up yet. I'm like, oh, but this is like, you know, now that's it was like a long time ago.
No, because I'm working so many jobs. I literally don't have a free second to think about me.
God.
And I'm like, you know what? That's okay though. Cause like I'm quitting my job because of these other jobs that I'm working. So once my day job is gone, then I can play with this. Yeah. June 24th is my last day.
No
I
way.
quit my job of
Congrats.
16 years, man.
Wow, congrats.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I took 2 weeks off, like a mental health break, and like because I fell and broke my leg and
I
whatever.
saw that. I was like, this guy's like going through it this year. This is your hard year, and next year is going to be your great year. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But it, honestly, now being back, it's so much less stress. Like I don't have to worry about like, you know, because everyone's blowing up, and then it's like, it's so funny on Instagram. Half the people are blowing up, and then the other half are like, oh my God, my stuff's not getting viewed. It's terrible. Everything's awful. And it's just like,
that's probably me more. But you know what? I'm like, people, the things that you have to do to blow up is my challenge. Like, I don't want to have to record a million voiceover videos of me being silly. Like, I'm funny. Just like, let me be funny in a different way, you know?
Yeah.
And like my job, like when I'm full time, starting very soon, I am going to focus on trying to actually film more things. I filmed a couple things for the Maker thing, and I was like, I was happy with that, you know? So I was like, I gotta do that, but like when I have time, because like when you're rushing from thing to thing, the last thing you want to do is stop and be funny on command.
Well, that's the thing. And it's like, oh man, I'm doing this thing. It's like, oh, I forgot to get a shot there. It's like, oh, then you gotta worry about setting up the camera. It's such a hassle.
Yep.
I filmed like a bunch of stuff in one day, and I've been just like recycling that content now. Like,
good for you. A lot of people do that. I've been hearing that from a lot of people.
Oh, so much easier. Like this whole week, I filmed in like an hour a while ago. It's like I'm building a workbench top, but it's already done. Like my garage is almost all done, and I'm just like showing it slowly, you know.
You have to though. It protects you, because of the sanity of having it already ready and like loaded. Like you don't have to worry about that now.
Yeah, exactly.